Show me your greatness.
Happening plebs, today we're going to be going over all the cards in Shining Victories that have been released, and we'll be looking at everything that's relevant for the meta, everything that you need to keep an eye on as a meta player, as a competitive player. So I'm going to do all the work for you. I'm going to go through all the rubbish and garbage. I'm going to get rid of everything that's not necessary and terrible in this set, and I'll just tell you everything that's good in this set and what you need to keep an eye on. So this might be a bit of a long one, but I mean there's like quite a couple cards here. So anyway, I guess we'll just go through everything that I picked out one by one. So the first card here, and the first card in the set, is Angel Trumpeter. This is a level 4 vanilla Earth monster, 1900 attack. The reason this is relevant is because of the fact it's an unexpected die target. So if you're playing pendulums or playing against pendulums, you're probably going to have to be aware of the fact that they now have a bit of easier access to Ignister, because they now can potentially play something like 3 unexpected die, special this from the deck, and you know that gives them easy tuner access. Going into the Ignister, obviously very important, so having unexpected die act as your sort of face off is kind of what this card here provides. So yeah, pretty good card. I think about time we had a vanilla tuner. I'm not really sure if we have one at all in the game, but anyway, yeah, that's the first card. So next one, let's just fire through these. Performer Pal, Odd Eyes, Light Phoenix. So now we have Performer Pals and Odd Eyes being merged into the same deck. Now the way that the Pendulum deck is probably going to evolve going forward into Shining Victories is by having Odd Eyes cards mixed into it. So it's level 5, so it's not very good for its level, so as an attack, not really relevant. The Pendulum effect is if an opponent's monster declares an attack while you have a card in your other Pendulum Zone, destroy the card you have in your other Pendulum Zone and special this. So you can just protect your guys, so it's not really great, but that's not really why you use it. I think you would want to use this is for the Pendulum effect, the monster effect, which is during either player's turn, tribute this card, target one Performer Pal monster you control against 2000 attack. So what you're gonna, it's really shit out, but like it's still a thing, I guess. Like what you can do is like boost one of your Performer Pals up really high. So maybe if you have like Sorcerer in your in your scale as well, what you can do is you can boost one of your Performer Pals up by 2000, then make Dweller and run over like Dark Destroyer and stuff like that. Obviously getting over Dark Destroyer is going to be a major problem with this deck going forward, and this just helps you have more outs of Dark Destroyer. It's not a good out, it's really quite shit, honestly. It's pretty terrible, but it's a one-off searchable through Sky Iris, so it means you're going to have Sky Iris being able to search low and high scales for you next set, because that's really mostly what this is used for. But the monster effect can come up, so that's really what I wanted to bring this up for. Next card, again, this is why Sky Iris becomes good, because you now have Sky Iris being able to pop one of your scales, add one from your deck to your hand. So it's Sky Iris is pretty much going to be like sort of a +1 in a sense. And this basically just means that you're going to have searchable high and low scales with Sky Iris now. This doesn't really do anything useful. Pendulum effect, I can't remember what it does now. When this card is in your Pendulum Zone, and when an Odd Eyes monster you control declares an attack, target one Performer Pal monster you control, except the attacking monster gains attack equals to target. So basically, like you can have like an Odd Eyes dragon attack, and then you target like Skullcrabat, and now Odd Eyes gains the attack of the Skullcrabat. I think that's how it works. So basically, it's yet another sort of kind of way to out Dark Destroyer. You can attack over it with Dweller or something. That's really what this is for. But most important reason this is played is because it's a searchable target through Sky Iris. The monster effect is really irrelevant. Yeah, don't read that. This is a new card that's actually really good. It's called Digital Bug Core Badge. We're also getting a new archetype called Digital Bug, but there's just not enough cards for it to be relevant, so I'm not even going to bother talking about it. But this card's really good because what you can do, it requires 2 or more level 5 Light Insight. That's not how you make this. If your deck can make rank 3s, so Burning Abyss, Cosmo, there's a really good way to deal with Burning Abyss card. Not that Cosmo need more ways to deal with Burning Abyss, for fuck's sake, but like, there's the options are options, right? How you make this is basically you make Giga Brilliant, and then you detach 2 from Giga Brilliant to rank it up into this. That's how you rank up. This is how you summon this. And then once per turn, detach material from this, so you detach the Giga Brilliant, then you target defense position monster you control and shuffle it away. So it's basically a rank 3 compulse. So if you have access to a rank 3, you have access to compulsory evacuation device. So it's not like super great, but like it can come up, and it's relevant against Beatrice. Obviously, that's what this is mostly here for. Your opponent's gonna have a Beatrice in the field, so you can rank up your Giga Brilliant and make this guy, and you're gonna be able to shuffle away Beatrice. So this is what this is going to be primarily used for, at least until a couple of sets in the future when we get digital bug support. Maybe that archetype will be good, I don't know, but this is not what we're talking about. We're talking about how this is going to be good in Cosmo. It's going to be good in Burning Abyss mirror matches as well. So Burning Abyss, now they can play 2 cards in the extra deck, Giga Brilliant and this card. It means in the mirror match they're going to be able to shuffle away Beatrice if you're still playing Burning Abyss for some fucking reason. I don't know why you're playing Burning Abyss, but Cosmo are going to have access to this as well. So this is why I wanted to bring this card up. Next card is Forge of the True Dracos. It's been known for a while, but basically if you control a Draco Slayer non-pendulum monster, so basically if you control Dynaster or Ignister and an Overlord monster, you shuffle away the entire field. So like that could be one potential route this deck can go forward. Like, instead of like having to deal with shit ways of getting over Dart Destroyer by attacking with Dweller with boosted up monsters and something, you can run Forge. It's not as hard to make as you would think, because let me just explain this a little bit more actually. So basically, Dynaster, Ignister on the field, and an Overlord Draco monster. So the vanilla Pendulum guy dude, yeah, Draco Overlord. When those 2 are in the field, you shuffle away the entire field. Shuffle as many cards on the field as possible into the deck, then special summon a Draco Slayer or Overlord monster from your deck, ignoring its summoning condition. So you can summon the Ritual monster, which I should probably get up just to show you really quick. I can't remember its name. Sorry, I think, is this it? Yeah, I think this is it. That's coming out in Shining Victories. I think this is coming out in Shining Victories, right? Sorry, I should have prepared this better when I was making this video. Yeah, so you can, this has a shitty, what's it called? Summoning condition, but that's not how you make this. Obviously you use Forge. I don't know if it gets the ritual effect. If this card is ritual on your opponent, skips their next main phase 1. Negate the effects of face-up fusion, synchro, or XE monsters while they're on the field. It's a big, massive skill drain. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, add a Draco Overlord monster from your deck to your hand, except itself. So you special summon out this guy. Obviously, you don't want to like draw this thing. You want to summon it out with Forge. Now, Forge is obviously going to be a lot more easier to make live, because we do have this card coming out, which is Lecter Pendulum, or Rector as it was called in the OC. I don't know why they call it Lecter, and it's just weird. This is basically a face-off. So basically, face-off now searches you, what's it called, a high scale and low scale at any point in time. Obviously, face-off is kind of irrelevant because face-off has been banned now. Basically banned. It's one, who cares, right? But the reason this is good is, well, I mean, actually, this card's actually really shit. It's only good in the mirror match. And the pendulum effect is it negates pendulum monsters' effects. So it's skill drain for pendulum monsters of your opponent. So if you have Vector and Lecter in your skills, like you have 3 and 5 skill, in a mirror match, your opponent can't fucking play, right? But this is better and more relevant if you're going to be trying to go through the Forge route of playing the deck, is the fact that it's an Overlord monster. So having access to Overlords is probably going to be a lot easier next set. Yeah, I don't think that's the correct way to play the deck going forward, but it's there to keep an eye out. That's why I'm bringing this up. Next card we have that's sort of relevant is this standalone trap card, counter trap card called Unwavering Bonds. It's like Konami are just like teasing us. When your opponent activates a pendulum monster's effect or the effect of a card that's already in the pendulum zone, negate activation. If you do, banish it. So it basically just negates and banishes a pendulum effect somewhere on the field. Yeah, just thought I'd bring that up. Pre-preparation of rights, add 1 ritual spell card from your deck to your hand, and add 1 ritual monster from your deck to your hand whose name is listed on it. So basically, it's +1. You get to ritual summon a lot easier. Problem is, Necros mirrors, none of them say Necros monsters on them. They only say like a Necros monster. It doesn't have a specific name on the Necros mirrors, so this isn't really good in Necros. It's actually terrible in Necros. Don't play this in Necros. Yeah, I'm sure there's going to be some ritual deck that can use this, like Herald maybe, I don't know, shout out Silentio. Yeah, I don't know. Just thought I'd bring it up. It's a really good card, we just don't have anything good for it to be used in. That's the issue, like we don't have a good ritual deck, but this as a standalone card, like in a vacuum, is amazing. It's actually really fucking good. Next card is called Fusion Tag. This is kind of relevant because we're getting a new fusion-based archetype. It's not very good, but I thought I'd just bring it up, Target one fusion monster you control, reveal one fusion monster in your extra deck, and if that target is used as a fusion material this turn, it can be treated as a monster with the same name as the real monsters. So basically, reveal a fusion monster from your extra deck. That card, the text on that card now becomes one of the materials of a card that you control, basically. So yeah, you can target pretty much any monster you want, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, literally any monster you control can become the fusion material on a card, and some cards have a really hard fusion material requirements, so that's why the fusion tag is actually really good, because we're getting a new archetype called Lunalights. The deck is actually really bad. Let me just probably should have searched up the better boss monster. The Lunalight, they're not good, honestly, they're not great. It takes 3 fusions to summon this guy, Leo Dancer, but if you use 3 fusion tag, you can reveal Panther Dancer and then fuse 2 Lunalight monsters. Now Lunalights are also kind of fast in the sense that they actually search out polymerization really easily. There's like, they have like two of their monsters are fusion based, or have built-in polymerizations, and then they have another monster which can be discarded to search polymerization. So getting polymerization in the deck is actually really easy. So what you can do is you can fuse away all your Lunalights, and then fusion tag one of your Lunalight monsters to make this card, Leo Dancer. Now the entire archetype is complete ass and garbage. It's honestly so fucking terrible, but this card, Leo Dancer, is actually really good. It can't be targeted or destroyed by your opponent's card effect. This card can make a second attack during each battle phase. Once per turn at the end of the damage step, if this card attacked a monster, you can destroy all special summon monsters you control. So it's really here because it can be targeted and destroyed, right? And it's 3,500, so it's really big. Kind of hard for some decks to get over. I don't think it's probably going to be relevant with Cosmo running around, because Cosmo, Cosmo kind of struggle, I guess, again, would probably struggle against this bit a little bit. But, one Cosmojo or something like that, and this card's gone. Just thought I would point out this new archetype. It's not good, but this one boss monster coupled with fusion tag is sort of decent. So, yeah. Next card, Despot 9. Now, I know you're probably wondering what this. I thought this was like a meta discussion, like, or whatever, competitive, right, whatever. This is actually a really fucking good card, right? Despots are pretty terrible, but like what this guy does is once per turn during your main phase, have this card gain attack equal to the combined attack of all Despot monsters you control. So Despot, this guy can become like 5,000-6,000 attack or something stupid like that, and it's an Armades. So like you can just attack over your opponent's Cosmo monsters like as an Armades, just boost it up really, really powerfully. And also, what it can do is, at the start of the damage set, if this card would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can destroy a Despot card you control. So you can destroy your Despot scales, which float into more Despots. Now, the issue here is that this deck is completely relying on the on the battle phase. So this deck has actually no plays outside the battle phase, I think. I don't know, I'm not a Despot player, but that's what the impression I've gotten so far from playing this deck. Well, I haven't played it, but seen it in action. It literally is, it's a battle phase deck, right? So yeah, this card's just really good because it's an Armades that becomes like 5k. But the reason Despots become actually sort of scary is this card here, this field spell called Despot Base. Now, all Despot monsters you control on the field gain 5 attack and defense. Once per turn, you can reveal any number of Despot cards in your hand, shuffle them into the deck, draw cards. So it has a built-in Cosmo Town. And then this effect is where it gets fucking scary. You can banish 9 Despot cards with different names from your field and or graveyard, except itself. Shuffle all cards from your opponent's hand, field, and graveyard into deck. Like, if you can get 9 Despots into your graveyard or put out on the field, which can be doable with things like Machine Dupe and your Pendulum Summon, like, not even your Pendulum Summon actually, being able to like pop your scales or something like that, or special out with Despot 4 or something like that, I don't know. This, like, in 2 or 3 turns, this deck can shuffle away. Like, it just is an auto win. Like, it's an actual auto win if you can set this up, which I don't think in theory would be hard to set up, but yeah, so Despot have their own searchable themed Forge of the Draco rivals, right? So if you want to be doing this, it's actually better than Forge, honestly. So yeah, it's actually really fucking broken. Okay, broken's an overstatement, but it's really good. It has consistency issues, but obviously a card like this should have consistency issues. And yeah, so Despot support yo. Next card is Raid Raptor Ultimate Falcon. It's just towers. It's actually really good because of another card we have. because it's actually it's towers, but it's much easier to make than like the Magnus. Now Magnus, when Magnus hits the field, it just wins the game, right? This, on the other hand, is kind of a little bit easier to get over. Monarchs can, for example, can just attack over this with Dominion, and that's it. It's really easy for Monarchs to get over this. Cosmo, I'm not honestly sure what Cosmo's outs are, but this card's really good in conjunction with Cattle Call. So select one face-up monster you control whose original type is Beast, Beast Warrior, Wing Beast. Special summon one monster from your X deck with the same original type, but cannot attack. Its effects are negated, also destroyed during the end phase. So you can special summon out one of your Raid Raptors and then rank it up into Ultimate Falcon. I'm pretty sure one of the Raid Raptors can also float into another Raid Raptor, or something like that. I'm not sure. So Cattle Call is also another card that's sort of relevant in conjunction with this. As for this Towers dude, I don't think it's that great. Like I said, with Monarchs and Cosmo are going to be the best decks, and yeah, Monarchs. So that's like half the meta is able to deal with this really easily. So I don't think it's good enough. We all also wanted to point out we're getting a bunch of new Raid Raptor support. I don't know how good it is. I haven't really looked into it. But just be aware that there's new Raid Raptor support, so go have a read at that, and maybe it will be worth playing. I don't know. Cattle Call. There's probably so many combos this thing can opens up. It's 3 different types, and it special summons a monster with that type from your extra deck. That's like a million different monsters this could potentially be, right? So I don't know. It's a quick play spell as well, so I'm sure this card I feel like will have some kind of interaction that it's just gone over everyone's head, but someone will top an event with it, playing this card with some kind of crazy combo. I don't know. I'm sure it has. I just really think this has some potential somewhere. I just don't know what this combo is going to be. Next card is Tuner's High. Discard one monster, special summon from your deck one tuner monster with the same original type and attribute but one level higher. It seems like just in a vacuum as an inherently really good standalone card. I don't know what it can be used in. I don't know what decks can really use it, but I feel like there is. So it's just a good standalone card. That's why I wanted to bring this up. I honestly couldn't tell you what it'd be used in, but I feel like there would be something decent here. This card special summon one monster from your deck, one tuner monster with the same original type and attribute. Yeah, I don't know with the original type and attribute, it really narrows it down so much, but I'm sure there's something here, right? Next card, Cosmo Dog Lady. Yeah, I'm sure you guys are all aware of this card by now. You guys probably don't even need to go over the Cosmo Star. You guys know what this does. Level 5. Psychic, negates a monster effect once per turn by paying 1,000 life points. You probably don't know what this is. Dark Planet, 4k attack and defense, banish Cosmo cards from your graveyard to negate spell effects. Must be special summoned by banishing total levels of Cosmos equal to 10 or more. Yeah, you know this. Landwalker, really fucking broken, and I wish people would understand this. People it seem to be skipping over just how good this card is. You can protect your field, you can protect your Cosmo monsters by popping this guy instead. So if they try attack over your Dark Lady, you can destroy this instead, float into another Dark Lady or something like that. Do you know what I mean? This card just is so good, so good, so good. It's dark, it's level 6 machine. It's great. I think we'll leave the best to last. Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, level 8 Synchro. Once per turn during either player's turn, when another monster's effect is activated, negate the activation. If you do, destroy that monster, and if you do that, this card gains attack. The other effect is if this card battles level 5 or higher monster, during damage count, this card gains attack equal to the current attack the opponent's monster is battling. So this, as you can imagine, is really fucking good against Cosmo. Now, level 8 Synchro Spam deck, don't know what it could be. The issue is it requires one tuner and one or more non-tuner Synchro monsters to make. So it needs to be made with a level 6 Synchro, and then it needs to be made with a tuner. So what this could be made with, I think Yang Zings could make this, sort of. Let me think. 2, 4... No, okay, Yang Zings can make it, but not very easily. I feel like Destiny Hero Teledad bullshit can maybe do this. I don't know. Any deck that can make this really consistently is going to be good. Don't know what that deck is yet. It probably doesn't exist, but yeah, this card as a standalone Synchro monster is really, 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 really good. Next card, Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon. I just thought I'd bring up Blue Eyes because of the fact that there's so much support coming. We just don't know, well, we do know what it is, but we don't know, if we're getting alternative dragon. No, we do know we're not getting alternative. We are not getting alternative dragon. So Blue Eyes support just becomes null and void. I'm sorry. The deck just isn't good enough. There's tons of new support cards. They have little baby Blue Eyes monsters. They have Blue Eyes Magician monsters or something like that. Just little monsters that like level 1 and 2 tuners that support the deck. They're getting a whole bunch of new support, but without Alternative Dragon, I just don't understand how this deck is good. It's not good, honestly. Like, this card is really good, Blue Eye Spirit Dragon, but like as an archetype altogether in a meta context, I don't think it's good enough, honestly. So yeah, Drowning Mirror Force, Rippling Mirror Force, bit of a morbid name they gave it in the TCG, I'm not gonna lie. Preferred Rippling. When an opponent monster declares attack, direct attack, shuffle all attack position monsters your opponent controls into the deck. So yeah, those of you who probably like watched my rogue best rogue decks video, maybe something like Yusenju can abuse this, shuffle away your opponent's entire monsters. Left arm offering, a card of demise with things like, you know, maybe Cliff or Yusenju able to take advantage to draw lots of traps and floodgates. Yeah, it's a really good card, Geargia Change. They were getting some other Geargia support as well. It's pretty shit, but I just wanted to mention this because it's a quick play spell, and it targets 2 or more Geargiano monsters with different names in your graveyard. Special summon them immediately after this card resolve. Xyz summon using those monsters. So yeah, it's pretty good. Not enough to make the deck good or competitive or broken, but I mean, don't forget, Geargia used to be the best deck back in the day, you know, and here we are. It hasn't lost any power since then. Still got the 3 Geargia gear and stuff, and yeah, the deck just has fallen off. But yeah, I thought I would mention this because of the fact that, you know, shoutouts to one of the old meta decks, and they're getting a really good card. You know, this is actually just a really good card. It just doesn't do enough really to make it, you know, meta, I guess. Getting there. Fire King Island, you guys again probably all know very well what this card does, what you're aware of. So this card, destroy a monster in your hand, add a Fire King from your deck to your hand. This means you're going to be triggering your Cosmo ships. I have so many videos on Cosmos and combos that you can do with this card, so just scroll down on my channel and you'll see what I'm talking about, because I'm not going to go over that here. But yeah, best Cosmo support card despite the fact that it has the word Fire King on it. I don't know why it has the word Fire King on it. Like, why does it have the word Fire King on it? It doesn't have anything to do with Fire Kings. It's a Cosmo card, right? That's what that is. Next 2 cards are Kaijus. 2 more Kaijus. There's also one more card that I forgot to bring up really quick. This thing, okay. I've lost the link. It's called Kaiju X-Files. I'm gonna try find. Yeah, I'll read this in a second. So the new Kaiju monsters. First of all, let's look at Thunder King. Thunder King Kaiju monster. Special this from your hand to your opponent's side of the field. If your opponent controls a Kaiju, you can special this card from your hand in attack position. If you control 1 Kaiju monster, you can only control 1 monster. Once per turn, remove 3 counters from anywhere in the field. Your opponent's cards and effects cannot be activated for the rest of this turn. This card can make up to 3 attacks on monsters during each battle phase. This is really fucking good. This is a really good Kaiju monster. If you're able to summon this against Cosmo, remove counters. That means they can't activate any of their ships or pilots for the rest of this turn, and you can just like attack over the entire field as an Armades, and nothing activates, right? Does have its problems, of course, because of the fact that, you know, you Kaiju over 1 monster, you special summon this from your hand, and then like they read it, and then they immediately go, oh shit, okay, summon Dart Destroyer, pop. So that can be an issue, that can happen, but if you're able to resolve this against Cosmo, I think you can probably just win the duel outright from there. And the other card, Super Anti-Kaiju War Machine Mech Dog, okay. Cannot be normaled or set. If your opponent controls a Kaiju, special this from your hand. You can only control 1 Kaiju. Once per turn, remove 2 Kaiju counters from anywhere in the field. Equip 1 Kaiju from your hand or graveyard to this card. This card gains attack equal to the combined attack Kaiju monsters equipped to it by this effect. So you can just make a really big monster. Not great, honestly, not great. Let's see, Kaiju X-Files. This is a new support card spell. Sorry, I didn't get a picture up. Each time 1 or more Kaiju monsters are special summoned from the hand or graveyard, put a Kaiju counter on this. Once per turn, target 1 Kaiju monster on the field, destroy it, then special summon 1 Kaiju monster from your deck with a different original name to the controller's side of the field. You can send this card with 3 or more counters to the graveyard, add a Kaiju spell or trap from your deck to your hand, except X-Files. So it's kind of decent. I don't know, I feel like Kaijus can maybe play their own deck now. if you're playing Kaijus, you know, that means you're gonna have a really fun time against Cosmo, right? So maybe we'll build Kaijus on stream, test it out against Cosmo. I feel like an inherent lava golem against Cosmo might be a pretty good deck. So yeah, that's been your Kaiju support, guys. Last but not least, finally we come Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries. This card single-handedly destroys Burning Abyss and any other deck that would dare rely on the extra. Yeah. Fuck this card. Anyway, Epiphany out of the way. Thanks for watching, everyone. Sorry for the long video, but yeah, we went over every single relevant sort of semi-good card from Shining Victories, and hopefully you guys will have been saved yourself a lot of work reading through those terrible cards that we have. So thanks everyone for turning out. If you've watched this far, give me a give me a hashtag. Oh, let me think of a good one. Shit, I'm on the spot now. Sorry, I don't know. Let's go with hashtag X-Files, okay? If you've watched this far into my video, I would really like to hear your support in the comment section with a hashtag X-Files, so I know you've paid attention to my stupid voice for this long. I'd really appreciate that. And yeah, this has been your meta breakdown of Shining Victories. Thanks for coming out. Hashtag X-Files, and see you later.
Come, face me. Give in to your pride.